Tack. Ja. Alright guys, so today is finally the day. 30 days have passed, since I got my hair transplant, and I'm finally allowed to play some decent tennis again, so we're just about to go now hit with the machine. Best training partner you can have, right? And let's see what we got in store. And by the way, I'm excited to test these shoes here, they're supposed to be carpet shoes. So let's see how they do on hardcore, right? But yeah, before we leave, let's do a quick warm up and we'll go to the court. Alright guys, so we are on our way to Al Harin El Grande, where we're gonna have a practice session today. And the courts here in Al Harin El Grande is just like 10 minutes away from my home, so it's perfect for me to practice here. I usually practice here, as I usually spend a lot of time driving to the matches I have. So I prefer to stay locally to just practice, to save some time. So to offer you guys some context, I haven't really been playing for 30 days because of this hair transplant that I have, that you see, it's still not coming quite, But let's see, you'll see the progress in a few months, but I just had it done 30 days ago. And I wasn't allowed to really sweat or be largely exposed to the sun for 30 days. So I haven't hit probably for 30 days. I've been doing a little bit of cheating, the last 7 to 10 days I've been hitting 20, 30 minutes a few times a week just to touch the ball, but not moving at all on the court, just really hitting the balls. So I think I will hit the ground running today, I don't think I'll be that rusty. So yeah, that's going to be the plan today, and then the question is what I'm going to do today. So I think that I'll be starting out with a few rounds with the saber racket, this small racket where you only have the sweet spot area of the regular racket. I prefer to do 10-15 minutes with that in the beginning before I switch to my regular racket. Sometimes I even do complete session with it, but that's for another day. So I'll start with that, both for my warm-up and a few rounds from the baseline, and then I'll switch to my regular racket. And I do some more rounds on both sides, of both wings, forehand, backhand. I'm not going to focus on either one of them today, because the focus is really just to get in some good strokes, get into a good rhythm, and then we'll see where it'll take us. All right, guys, that's a wrap for the first session. How did it feel? Well, pretty good, I think. Obviously, after 30 days without hitting properly, then there's going to be some rust, and I felt that off both wings. But overall, I think it was good. It was fine. Yeah, especially at the end, I did this drill where I had the machine hit some high balls slightly to the backhand court, where I would go around it and hit a forehand, because that's something I do really often when I play, because a lot of my rivals, they try to pin me in the backhand corner. Obviously that makes sense, because my backhand isn't that good, so you can't blame them for doing that. But it takes a really good player to be able to hit it consistently good enough to get to the backhand, because often I'm able to hide the backhand and go around and hit the forehand. And so that was what I was practicing today, both inside in and inside out. And they actually went pretty well. So that was good. Oh. All right, guys, so it's Saturday today, and I'm playing my first match back today, and I'm also playing tomorrow. So today is in the Liga in Alherin, and tomorrow is in the playoff in the other Liga in Fuengirola. So I will be recording a moment where I will explain exactly what is it I'm playing, where is it I'm competing, different leaguers, tournament, blah blah blah. I will get back to that, but obviously that's important. Maybe it will come on this episode, maybe it will come in the next one, but I will definitely record that, as it makes sense to do that. But anyway, so that the plan for this weekend is just to play these matches, and then later in this episode I will come with the game plan for what's going to happen in the next week, because I'm not quite sure at this moment. So today's match, I'm playing Juan Daniel. I don't know him. I haven't played against him before. The only thing I know is that he seems to be losing matches against players I beat fairly easy. So it should be a fairly easy match, and it's not an accident that I put this match at this time, because I just wanted to have something soft to start up with, no pressure, get the reps, try to get back to the serve. So yeah, that's just the plan today, get back to serving, see where the status is with the serve after not serving for 1 month. I will be trying to go a little bit more for it on the second ball, I think, after the serve. On the first ball after the serve. And then, yeah, I think I'll let the backhand have a lot more reps today, because normally I probably would tend to go a lot around to the forehand on a match like today, because he's not going to be able to pin me in the backhand corner. But I think I want the reps today on the backhand, and then I'm okay with the mistakes that may come with that. So that's basically the plan. Nothing major at all, like I said, it should be an easy match, but let's see. So yeah, I will put in some highlights now, and then I'll share you some post-match thoughts on how it went. Cheers. Alright guys, so first match is done, and just some quick thoughts here while I'm leaving the courts. So as expected, it was a fairly easy match, so I won 6-0, 6-1. So yeah, that's really not much to say, to be honest. I played well, I did what I wanted to do. I was aggressive on the second balls, did a lot of winners, but again, it doesn't really tell you that much, to be honest. So overall, just good to get back in action. Struggling a bit with the serve, though 4 double fouls, I guess that's not so bad, but I only did 48% first serves in. But yeah, that's expected, I haven't served for 30 days, so all good. First match done, and that was the 6th match in the Liga here. So now I have played 6 and won 6. So let's see. I think the next matches I will play here in this Liga will be against the top guys. I'll try to organize that either next week or the week after. But for now, tomorrow back in action with the playoff, and see you there, man. Alright guys, so it's Sunday, and match day. I'm getting ready now to leave to the club. I'm playing in like an hour or something. So it's the first round in the playoff of Fuengirola, and I'm playing a guy called Alberto. I don't know him, I haven't played against him, but he's the 30th seed, I'm the 3rd seed, so I'm expecting a match kind of like yesterday, I'm guessing, you know, so I don't think it's going to be too tight or anything, so I'm just going to focus on my stuff, getting back into my rhythm, and yeah, let's see, you know, so focus for me will be go for the first serve, even though I won't have to do it, I will try to do it anyway to get into a rhythm with it, and also because then when I have to serve the second serve, you know, it's not just going to be a free serve, you know, it's going to be to avoid doing double faults, you know, so that's good for me to get back into that, and then I will be trying to hit as many backhand returns as I can, and I won't be going around my forehand too much, I think, just looking to get in those extra reps for the backhand, so yeah, let's see, like I said, you know, I'm not expecting too much of a battle today, but yeah, we'll have to see, so let's see after the match, and I'll show you some highlights here. Alright guys, so that's it. Second match back is done. First match in the playoff in Fuengirola, and I won the match 6-1, 6-0. So as expected, kind of like yesterday. Although when we did warm up, he actually seemed like he was hitting the ball quite well, and I was thinking, okay, this could be something. But when we started playing, obviously, when we start playing points in tennis, then something just happens to people, you know. They hit so much better when we don't play points. And obviously, the worst thing about his game was his serve. The best thing about my game is my serve. So when we add those two factors in, obviously, it's gonna go as it did. So yeah, just glad to be able to get some serves in again. I served okay today. Still just below 60% first service. So that could be a bit better, but that's okay. And only 2 double faults. I did more aces than double faults, so that's good sign. So yeah, moving on to the second round of the playoff. I think I will be playing later in the week next week, and I will probably be playing this guy called Clement. But let's see. All right, guys. So it's Monday. I thought we would just run through the week and what's the game plan for the week in terms of training and tennis and everything. And yeah. By the way, take a look at the hairline. It's coming along fine. What you say? Follow along for the progress. Anyway, so the plan for this week is the following. So today, Monday, is just a gym day. So nothing much to add there. Tomorrow, Tuesday, will be training with the team in Al Harin. And then, let me think. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be tennis days, where Wednesday I will probably be hitting with the machine, and either Thursday or Friday I plan to play my next playoff match if I'm able to schedule it. On Saturday we have our next match in the Teams Liga, the Liga Equipo, so I will be playing there. It's going to be at home in Al Harin Grande, and Sunday is going to be a gym day. So yeah, we got a tight schedule this week, but it's all good. We're still just getting started after the break, and I'm at the moment going without rest days because some of these matches I have had and some of the gym sessions I have had to begin with hasn't been that tough. Obviously the matches has been what they are, really easy, so I don't count them for a training day. And the gym sessions I've been going at it at beneath 100% because I don't want to deal with the sore muscles that you get from starting out too aggressive with your intensity in the training again. So I'm easing my way back into that. But anyway, that's the game plan for the next for the coming week, and I will be documenting most of it throughout this video. Alright guys, so here in this next segment I'll be answering a question or two, because obviously, you know, when I'm doing a series like this, there is one obvious question that would make sense to start with. So the question is obviously, you know, why is the goal UTR10? Why this specific number, and why even this UTR thing? So for me, I can tell you that there are three reasons why it's UTR10, you know. So first of all, it's the UTR thing itself. You know, I find it extremely motivating that you have a concrete number that can tell you what is your tennis level, you know, and this number is even really accurate, you know. It's basically like the handicap of golf players, you know. So in golf you have a handicap and that tells you what your level is. It's basically the same with tennis, you know, and like I said before, it's really accurate. For as long as I can remember playing tennis on different levels, you know, it's always been difficult to explain what is your tennis level, you know, and with the UTR, you know, you basically have it. Like I said, I find it extremely motivating to have something so specific to work on, and also acknowledging that, you know, it's going to be a process, you know, so you can't get too focused short term on the goal, but obviously if you do improve over time, your number should improve too, right? So that's the first thing. The next thing is that at the moment, as you can see here, my current level is about 8.5, just shy of 8.5. So for that, you know, setting a long-term goal, 10 is, you know, the natural number to put, you know, so it's not really that many thoughts behind the number 10, other than, you know, when you're 8.5 now, I thought that 10, okay, that would make sense. So it gives me a goal that's long-term, because reaching 10 will probably take a few years, I think, you know, but I don't know. And also the thing is that it's not an unrealistic goal, but it's definitely not an easy goal, you know. So there are still some question marks about, will I make it? I'll try at least, you know. So I find that really motivating. And thirdly, but not last, then it appears, you know, that in these areas, you know, around Malaga, maybe just in general, actually, you know, there's like three different levels of tennis. We have the club level, we have the federal level, and we have the, let's call it, semi-professional level. So the club level is what I'm playing mostly, you know. It appears that if you have a UTR around 8.5, sorry, then you're basically competing to win all these tournaments. You're not necessarily winning all of them, but you're competing in all of them, you know. And that's where I'm at the moment. You know, like I said, I'm just shy of 8.5, and what I'm experiencing is that I'm winning a lot of leaguers, and I'm competing and winning a lot of the third division tournaments at the ATT tour, you know, and that's the UTR tournaments that we have around here. So it appears that the club level goes to about 8.5, right? Give or take something. The next level we have is, you know, like I said, the federal level, that equals the second division of the ACT tour, and what seems to be the case both in the second division and in the federal tournaments is that you're competing to win here if you are about 10ish. If you are 10, then you're probably competing and winning a lot of these tournaments, you know. So that would be the obvious next step for me to try to reach, you know. But like I said, you know, that's not going to be easy. And then the top level around here, when you're not a professional tennis player, it would be around the 12-ish. I think it seems to be the case, you know, where on the ATT tour you could compete and maybe even win the first division. And it appears that these guys, they play the future tournaments, you know. That's the first step of the professional tennis ladder. So just in general, you know, that's basically my thinking about, you know, why I'm putting this goal. Like I said, I find the UTR really motivating, you know, and it gives me something concrete to focus on, but also obviously still being focused on the process itself. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, and thank you for asking. All right, good morning guys. So it's Saturday morning and it's match day, you know. We're playing here at 10 o'clock, you know, in the team's Liga, the Liga Equipo. It's a beautiful day here in Malaga, beautiful morning. So it's going to be great to be back competing. So we're playing against Cartema. I don't know who I'm playing actually. I don't know who their first single is, you know, but I'm assuming that it's not one of the best first single of the Liga, you know. Normally it can be really, really tough level when you're playing the first single, but I'm not sure that Kartima has that, you know, not that I'm familiar with. But anyway, I don't know who I'm playing, but I do know that I'm playing both single and doubles today. I haven't played doubles for ages, so that's going to be interesting. So yeah, nothing more to add for now. As I said, I don't know anything about who I'm playing, so no reason to analyze anything, you know. Now I'll go eat some breakfast and prepare to go, and I'll take you into some highlights for the single match afterwards. Alright guys, so I ended up playing Juan Carlos Bosa, and I'll bring you just shy of 3 minutes worth of highlights here. The thing is, I have some history with Juan Carlos. We have played 4 times before. We have a head-to-head of 2-2 before today's match. He won 2 times the first year. The first year I played in the Liga Equipo. That's a few years ago. And then last year we played twice and I won both matches, including the final. So it's always fun to me to get these matchups, especially against one I have struggled against before, against Juan Carlos. He always brings back more balls than you would expect, though he doesn't have that much power, so he's not going to hurt you that much. But I think, you know, what has changed over time is that I'm more patient. I don't do as many mistakes as I used to do, and obviously that has changed the head-to-head. So one thing that worked really well for me today is that I was moving quite well on the court, you know, everything felt really smooth, and so I was really happy about that. Also, my serve did really good today. I did a whole bunch of aces, you know, didn't face one break point at all, and only did a few double faults, you know, so when I do a lot more aces than double fault, that's usually a good sign, you know, and that's what I'm looking for here in this was actually the first real match being back, you know, whereas it wasn't like the 2 matches last weekend. So other than the serve, you know, the forehand was going well today as well. I did a lot of winners of the forehand, so also quite pleased with that. And you know, when you do drop shots like this, you know, you have a good day. And here we have the set point from the first set. I'm up 5-2, and there you have it, 6-2 the first set. And just like the first set, we also opened the second set with an ace. And yeah, just like we started the match with an ace, we will finish off the matches with 2 aces as well, you know, so all good. 6-2, 6-3, I'm pretty pleased with that performance. It was a game that I was the favorite to win, but yeah, I'm really happy to come up clean with that. So that was the single match. I also won the double match. I have a clip from here, you can see, that's all I have from that. So we also won that 6-3, 6-2, and then overall, we won the match, the team match. We won as a team 6-0. So good day at the office, you know. Not the biggest test, but still something different from last weekend. So it was actually a perfect match for me to have this weekend. All right, guys. So that's it for the first episode here of the YouTube series, The Road to UTR10. I hope you liked what you saw. Obviously, this is the first episode I'm doing, you know, so I'm still trying to figure out what is working and what format should it be and everything. But stay patient with me. I'm sure it will get better as the episodes they go on. Obviously, as well, this week didn't include that much great match action, mostly easy matches, you know. So that should already get better next week, you know, where I both have the next match in the playoff in Fongarola, but I have also signed up to play on the ATT tour the next week, so I'll be playing the 3rd division there. So next week will be a tournament week, and I will be documenting throughout these videos throughout the next week. So the episode will be mostly dominant about match action. As a final thing, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw, and leave a comment on the video as well. That will help to bring in some reach to the channel. Obviously, now that it's a new channel, we're gonna need some help to bring in the reach. So yeah,
I appreciate you guys if you would do that, and I'll be back next week with plenty of tournament action, and see you guys there. Thank you for watching.